welcome to the Scraticus Academy. It's Monday, so we are back in Eberron. I'm going to run through a few things real quick, and then we will head around and say hello to everyone. So first of all, Discord is full of lovely people, so definitely go check that out. And there is a separate room for each of our campaigns to go and scream into the abyss if you wish. Also Twitter, if you want to get into one of our games, we have 5 viewer games this season, so drop Scrat a DM on Twitter and we will get you into one of those. Also YouTube, all the previous episodes to this are currently on YouTube on a playlist, so if you've missed anything, feel free to head over there and have a catch up. We are also full-time now, and that's thanks to you lovely people. So if you would like to support us, please head over to our Patreon, where you can also see some free articles written by our very own lovely Renee. We also have merch, which is on there via Redbubble, where you can get that shield on literally anything. So head over there and check that out. We also have some very lovely sponsors. One of them is here today in the form of Bird in the Storm. There should be a link in chat to their merch. They've got mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, you name it. Literally branding right there. Yeah, and they do some really awesome stuff, so definitely check them out. And also Mage Hand Press, who created the Dark Matter Alpha, which is basically D&D 5e reskinned to be in space. So for all your sci-fi, spacey sort of needs, head over there. Other than that, Wild Magic Surge wise, those are gone now. Just as a quick reminder, we have a trinket list instead, and every 10 retweets and every 4 followers, we will gift or curse at random one of our lovely players with one of these trinkets. But without further ado, let's head round and say hello to everyone. So let's start with Ash, or who you met.
Hello, I'm Ash and I'm playing Emet, who I guess didn't learn this, but has come to fully realize how much they rely on Tart for any sort of sense of subtlety or charisma, anything, because all they know how to do is charge in and destroy everything to get what they need.
I love it, Matt. Warforged granddad or dad, I'm not too sure which one it is now, but I love it anyway.
Uncle Emet.
Uncle Emet. Warforged uncle. Yeah, that's what we're going with. And now we're going to hop over to Kim, or a geeky tea party. Oh, you are muted, Kim.
Let's try that again. Hello, I'm Kim, or a Geeky Tea Party, and I'm playing River. I'm a ranger. I can't remember the word. Oh my gosh, my brain is broken.
Shifter.
Yes. I'm a shifter ranger, and River is very excited to be with friends and going on this adventure. She has no idea what's going on or what's coming next, and she's excited.
Awesome, thank you. Then we're going to hop over to our very lovely Tosku, or Vesh.
Hey, how are you doing? It is good to be here, and I am playing Vesh, who is also realizing that without Tart around, he sometimes looks to Emma and go, I'm going to do something rash, and Emma goes, okay, and so we do. And so picture, if you will, as we strategize to knock down the front door of, the headquarters of House Ugali, begins with a V, whatever house whose front door we knocked pleasantly on with a giant enlarged Warforge and a thunder wave. It was wonderful.
House of Lyandra.
Lyandra, that's it.
And last but certainly not least, Lauren, or who's playing?
Hello, I'm Lauren. I'm That Salty Ginger over on Twitter, she, her pronouns, and I am playing Tart, whose voice I totally remember how to do. I think this is it. This sounds right. She is a changeling bard from a very shifty, noble house back in Sharn. And she's definitely not about to blow up her dead sister's fiance, who was then her fiance, because she was disguised as her dead sister. So,
Family
you
drama.
know, yeah, just like
families do.
Yeah, super on brand.
All the family drama. Awesome. So, last week we saw that Tart had been effectively taken off for questioning, and Vesh, River, and Emet were not happy about this whatsoever. So for quite a while, actually, they scouted the grounds to see if they could find a different way in or something. And in the end, they voted for a full-scale attack of the three of them. Emet became much, much larger than Emet normally is, and completely crashed through this door, whilst Vesh generated this mist and this sort of electricity, with River coming up the rear to find a room of dead soldiers, and a few that were alive that attacked, but were not quite with it. There was something wrong with them. They weren't coherent, they weren't making sense. And once these had been dealt with, they ventured down into the dungeons, as this is Stormreach, the city of dungeons. And whilst down there, Vesh jumped on his shield and disappeared down this spiral staircase, having the absolute fun of his life, but triggered a trap that opened a door in a wall, which sent him down 100-foot drop into a pool, basically, which then closed behind him. And Emet and River took a while to try and find out where he was, and then Blue started to act rather strangely. Started talking about something and walking off on his own, and a bit like the soldiers, wasn't making sense. But he snapped out of it. It was fine. And Vesh came across, as he was swimming in this darkness, a pair of boots in the dark. This very odd, rather insane dwarf who seemed to know all of their names. And once the party rejoined, they went through this dungeon. They found a throne room. They found one of the monks of the Dark Six in there, doing their thing. They also found a carving that moved very much like the tapestry in the house. However, throughout this carving, one single image of a man walked throughout the carving. The traveller, whose arms of stone came out of the wall and offered a box. Yeah, we didn't tell Lauren this. And offered
You didn't take it though, right?
Well,
Who
Ashley
did
really
you
wanted
leave
to.
Lauren, who did you leave there? And they took a box. Well, actually, you didn't take a box. The dwarf took the box. There you go, proud mum moment. And they proceeded into another dungeon with a set of cells. And in these cells were elves. One elf in each. Their eyes distant, their eyes hollow, unsleeping. No matter what happened, no one could talk to them. And then, at the end of the wall, they found a door. A door that opened into a cellar, like a wine cellar. It was full of grain, cheese, all bits and bobs. But back in the dungeon, there was a well, where from underneath, they felt that heat the crazed dwarf had been talking about. and they heard the heavy rumbling footsteps of a dragon. So we're going to jump over to Tart. Tart, you're sat in a room. You're sat in a room where there is that desk. There's 2 chairs, one of them you're sat on. And Tyra and Leandra stands by the door, his sharp blue waistcoat on, his blonde hair sort of ruffled, as he smiles from the corner of his mouth. And you see the drow who usually has his back, who normally stands proud and unmoving, but at the moment has his eyes locked on you, cradling his hand from when you last heated up the door handle with the burn. And he looks like a wounded animal right now. He's not happy about it, but he's keeping his distance from you right now. And in front of you, hood down, you recognize him, Demetrius. So, hello, Tart. It's been a long time, hasn't it?
No words. I cast Fireball.
Yeah.
I don't care how big the room is. I throw it as far away from me as I can, but he deserves it.
Cast it for me, please.
Okay.
And I thought Emet and Vesh were being reckless.
What are you talking
This
about?
whole team.
So it's a DC 16 dexterity save, and I rolled really good on the
Oh my
damage.
God.
Damn!
Oh.
No, on a 4.
Yeah. I don't know if you need me to roll. Like I said,
You got you wrong.
yeah, I should probably do a dex
I'm
save.
doing a roll for the others as well.
Yeah.
Drow is probably having
Yeah, I'm
a
good.
problem right now.
I'm dexterous.
Let's have a look.
So, 18.
Not to be a rules guy,
Ooh,
Uh-huh.
one.
but since you're tied to a chair, wouldn't you have disadvantage
I'm
on
not
that?
tied to the chair.
I'm sorry. I
No,
thought you were
it's
tied.
not tied to the chair.
Mm-mm.
On a nat
Never mind
one,
then.
you see one of the... Oh, I haven't rolled for the 4th person.
So we've got... Yeah, suck it.
On a nat 1, you see one of the guards scream and fall, and it's in this massive blazing fire, sort of scream and trying to get out the room, scrabbling everywhere. The rest of them also panicking. Even Leandra has dropped to the floor and trying to pat himself down and put out this fire. The drow, so behind him, trying to do exactly the same thing, trying to basically put his master out. Demetrius stands in front of you. His clothes are on fire. His hands, his face. But he remains unmoved, looking at you.
Well, I feel better. How about you?
And he stands and he looks at you. Still burning. You can smell that burning hair. And he looks at you. Could you please make a perception check for me, please?
Okay. 18.
Yeah. On an 18, you look at this figure, this probably quite a terrifying sight. And his eyes don't look right. This is Demetrius. This is the man you've seen so many times and spoke with as politely as you can with a court. But his eyes, there's something wrong with his eyes. And he looks at you. I thought you would be on our side. Don't you think? It'd be better. I thought you would understand more.
Tart, seeing that something's wrong with him and he's just standing there burning, is going to kind of pat the flames on herself out and look at Tyron.
Yes, he is freaking out right now. He's dropping and rolling, and this drow is trying to put him out.
That makes me feel better. It really does. Excuse me, are you done over there?
And Tyron Lyandra stands. He looks a bit singed, and you can see he's like, and as he shakes his hand off, you see electricity sort of crackle between his fingertips. More just like him stretching and flexing his fingers. But his once very smart waistcoat shirt is now patchy, and you can still see embers and this silver sort of material that is floating to the ground where you've burnt holes in them.
Good. So, do you want to tell me what's going on here? Because I don't trust anything coming out of his mouth right now.
I don't know. We were just in debt to them. So I'd listen to what he has to say. And you can see that the drow is now looking like he doesn't know what he's got himself into.
I give him a big smile, Alice.
Yeah, and he does the more of a nervous, as if he's trying to reply to you, but he's not happy right now. And you feel that Lyandra isn't either, but he's here out of fear, not willingly.
Oops.
And Demetrius just takes a tiny step closer to you and looks at you. You could have been the new Ophelia. We gave you such an opportunity. We gave her such an opportunity, but she said no. You don't understand, do you? She didn't tell you anything? And he sort of tilts his head slightly. Again, this isn't a characteristic you normally see in Demetrius.
Mm-hmm.
Is that we were to be his children. Is that who walked through the mists into the real world? We left Cyre. She said no.
And then you killed her.
Well, I told my man to. I wasn't going to get my hands dirty.
Oh,
I have a
gosh.
reputation to keep up. And you see him there's the Demetrius you know. Just that hint. It's almost like he's flipping back and forth in between. What's the matter, Tart? You're usually so much fun at parties.
I wouldn't call this a party, but it's about to become one if you don't get out of my way.
Your mother was just as resisting. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You could have so much. Ophelia was crazy. She called me mad, cruel, devious. She didn't believe me. She didn't believe me at all. She didn't believe me I'd seen it. That darkness. That beautiful, beautiful darkness. It's on the other side. You'll see it. they help you see it. And then everything just becomes so much clearer. She didn't believe me. She tried to hide for a bit. She tried to run away. Nope. Couldn't do it. And because she didn't want to join me, we had to make her sleep.
Tart is looking at the drow and at Tyron?
Yeah, Tyron. Yeah,
Tyron. Do they still look freaked?
The drow does more than Leandra.
Okay.
And it's more that he's realizing he's in a room with some people they're not who he thought they were. He thought he was coming into a room with 3 royal stuck-up people that would be easily killed if he did, and now he's into this whole new scenario he wasn't expecting.
Demetrius, you are going to get out of my way right now, or the same thing that happened to the one of you that was in my mother is going to happen to you. That one ran away with its tail between its legs.
And Demetrius just smiles. Would you like to roll initiative?
Yes, I love initiative. You don't even know, Alice. You don't even know how much I like initiative. You don't even know. Okay, here we go. I'm going to use a reroll because that's a nat 1.
That one, wow.
I'm going to use one of my rerolls.
Yes.
That's another nat 1. That's great.
Reroll or?
That's so super duper.
Do you have another?
Duper. I
do have one more if you would like to use it. If you roll another.
Oh my god. Hold on. I'm going to refresh roll 20. Excuse me. I'm not superstitious at all.
It's like you're putting roll 20 in dice jail.
Yeah. It was so good to me last night that I think it's just like, okay, this is what you get. Sure, let's use the other one. I don't want to be in here. Okay, here we go. 14.
Yes. Oh my god. Okay. Let's have a look. So
Everyone's a little bit on edge. Not quite.
What is that?
Yes, that's the drow.
Oh, that's good. I like the drow.
Yeah,
the drow's fine. The drow's chill.
The drow is panicking. He is being shouted at from both sides. You've got Leandra is panicking and backing up into the wall, yelling at the drow, get over there. And this form that resembles Demetrius steps forward. The drow, first of all, attacks. And he attacks Tart. Because at the end of the day, he is a hired thug. So, does an 11 hit?
No.
No. Okay. No. It is now your turn.
Yay. That's exciting. Oh god. Okay, so I'm in the middle of the room. Demetrius is a little closer to me, but not like right up on me.
He's not right up on you, but he's definitely encroaching.
Yeah, he's creepy. The drow just ran up to me and tried to attack me? Or did he do it from range?
He's doing it from range. He's just firing an arrow out of. You can see he's actually shaking a little bit. he's got his master yelling at him, and this arrow just, it lets loose, but it's way wide and just spins off.
Okay, cool. Huh. All the things. Okay. I think what we're going to do is move. Moving seems good. I don't think there's any other way out of here. I'm not really too concerned about Lyandra in the door. But you know what might be a good idea to try, actually, is I'm gonna cast Hypnotic Pattern to try and charm and incapacitate them.
Okay, where's the DC save for that
It's
one?
a 16 wisdom.
Okay, so this is going to the drow and Demetrius, yeah?
It goes to everyone.
Everyone, okay.
Yeah, because I
Right,
think.
that's the drow.
Okay, the drow's fine.
Next one's Demetrius.
Nope.
The next one's Lyandra.
Yes. Okay.
So those two pass apart from Demetrius. Describe how you do this for me.
Yes. Okay, so her hypnotic pattern, she has, like I've described before, all sorts of like bangles and things. But she has like one, well, we'll say on her left wrist of a little like trinket, a vial with these little glowing things, and she just kind of shakes her arm and the glow moves from the vial to in front of her, and since it's affected Demetrius, we'll say right in front of him, just like a big flash that incapacitates him, which is very good.
Yeah, you see him sway backwards and forwards slightly, and those sort of crazed eyes go that little bit wider. But now as you move, you realize he's not looking at you at all. He's looking past you. He's not with it.
Cool. Great.
The drow backs up a little bit again to the door after seeing this, and Lyandra throws the door open and runs.
Sweet. I am going to use my movement and run. Even if I have to run past the drow and he'll swipe me or whatever.
He will try and swipe at you, but but again, he's too nervous. Something in this is just, he's fully unnerved after seeing everything that has happened. And you sprint out into this huge hallway. And now we're gonna hop over to Emet, Vesh, and River. And you heard all these sounds back in the dungeon, but from the cellar, from up those stairs, you hear screams. You hear male screams coming from up those stairs. You are muted.
Do we still hear like the roar and stuff from the well behind us?
You hear it not disappearing, but leaving from where you were. It's more you feel the ground tremble a little bit, as if it's just moving around down there.
I believe Emmett was in the lead in the room.
Yeah.
And it was myself and River sort of were the ones who got the perception that something was back there.
Mm-hmm.
So at hearing this, the male screams, if Emmett could have a shit-eating grin, he would right now. As he turns to the other two, because I don't think Emmett really noticed. I feel like I failed that one.
No, you didn't. You failed that one. You were looking into the room, if I recall.
Yeah. So I just turned back to you guys, oblivious that anything has even happened. I mean, like, I think I know where Tar is.
When you hear those male screams.
That's right. Calling card.
Vesh will sort of look at River and be like, well, I'm thinking we don't want to mess with that, right? Whatever's making the noise from back there.
I don't want to, but I think that might be where Tart is.
No, I meant saying Tart's up.
Would I be able, because I can sense her or smell her or whatever within, 60 feet was it?
Yeah.
Would I be able to sense her?
You can sense her close, more up than down. Like, sort of, again, where this screaming has come from.
Yeah.
Is where you can probably guess is where Tart's coming from.
Yeah, I think, I think
all
she...
you smell below is, like, sulfur.
I think we're going to have to go that way whether we want to or not.
But let's get Tart first, upstairs.
I think that's where Tart is.
Emet has started going up the stairs already.
Yeah, Blue is close behind Emet, just trudging after him.
Vesh is going to start going upstairs as well.
Yes, so's River.
Yeah, you, all four of you both step up, walk up these stairs, and you're in a corridor with tiled floors. This almost looks like maybe like a servant's quarters. There's a kitchen. You've just effectively walked into this corridor, and to your left, you see this huge kitchen open up. And further down the corridor, where it turns off to the left and looks like more says, you hear that yell and that screaming again. And from the other edge of the corridor comes running past, not towards you, two guards. And they sort of run past and then back up a little bit upon seeing Emet, Vesh, River. What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be down here.
Emet will just shove his way through because they're insignificant and not what he is looking for.
He's like, whoa, no. And one of them does draw like their short sword and like, no, you're not supposed to be down here. This is my job. You don't look like kitchen staff.
You are kitchen staff?
No, I'm a guard protecting the kitchen staff.
Why does your kitchen staff need a guard? Emet keeps walking, by the way, but like
we have guards on every that doesn't matter. Get back here! Like this is like this guy comes running after you.
Vesh casts Thunderwave to push them down, to throw them down the hallway,
Yeah,
the opposite direction from where they were running.
Yeah. Roll for me.
Yep. I don't think Thunderwave is loaded. Yeah, it is. It's loaded in here. Look at that. And it's Vesh, and he wants to see our good friend Tart get there. So yeah, I'm casting it at level 3. Terrible. The terrible upper cast thing. But the big thing about him is they have disadvantage as we just to be shoved down the hall.
Okay. So let's roll.
For their saving throw will be a...
Looks like we got a new friend!
And their disadvantage, 7. That's one of them. Yeah, 7 of them. Describe how you do this. Is this guy you see running up behind Emet? Like, no. You're not allowed to be down here, with this other guard close, like running behind him.
And so, you say they sort of ran past the door and then started coming back. So, I mean, we sort of snuck out in the hallway, and there are constantly, stay right there. It's like, and then Emet keeps kind of going. And I'm like, we're kind of in a hurry. Go. And he just sort of slaps it, like kind of like you would do to a dog, and just kind of like claps his hands and just throws them 10 feet down the hallway.
Yeah, River, you'll feel like this ripple, and Emet, as much as you're determined, it's almost like you feel this sort of wave ripple down these walls as you can hear these guards sort of like from one end of the corridor to the other, and just a crash and a mass at the other end.
Well done, Besh.
Let's get Tart.
And you start to head up these other flight of stairs. You can hear running around upstairs, which sound like more guards' feet, but they don't necessarily sound like they're coming to you. They sound like they're running in another direction. And as you step up onto this corridor, you look out, and this very, you recognize this man, you recognize the Lyandra as he comes tearing down this hallway, absolutely breathless. Like it looks like he's using the walls to keep himself going. His clothes are burnt, his hair is just singed, almost like he's sort of black soot sort of all down him, like as he just sort of stumbles past. And when he sees you, he is no, and he starts to back up.
This is the guy.
The wrong person.
This is the guy. I know the drow was the one who brought us here, but I know in Vesh's mind, this is the guy who lied because he
lied.
Vesh doesn't like people who lie.
His pants caught on fire.
Well, I guess first question is, I mean, I just cast a spell. Am I able to do something else, or is there like sort of dashing by? So I've got a second.
He's not rushing by. He's actually stopped, and he's starting to back away from you.
You lied to me. You said that you were good people. You said that you were nice Marcus and Alana who were here to come and give us a nice place to stay. And you had thunder and lightning. And so I thought that you were a good person. And now I'm really, really, really angry with you.
And he starts laughing.
You see him start to a bit like you, Vesh, starts to static this electricity between his fingers. He doesn't look like he's getting ready to attack. This looks like he is fully ready to defend himself.
Oh, don't you start sparking at me.
This, like, you're probably taller than this guy as
he's
well.
He's 8 feet tall.
This very singed man is like backing up away from you.
I think probably Vesh's hair, his bowl cut is kind of starting to do the Van de Graaff generator thing. He's probably getting a little, lightning his eyes. Can I roll an intimidation to see if he...
Yeah, roll an intimidation for me.
Do you mind if I help him out with that? As I will back him up behind him. I will draw my hammer.
Yes.
If that would give me advantage on the intimidation, it would be a 22.
22, yeah. This is... Vesh steps forward, this lightning sort of staticking all around you, this hair standing on end, and Emet just stood as this wall behind you. This guy's hands drop, and he stumbles and then falls over as he sort of tries to grab one of the tapestries on the wall and almost covers himself as he starts to back away. He's like, okay. It's all good. And he puts his hands up in the air. Just, please don't.
Don't lie.
I won't. I'm not. I'm not.
I'll be back for you. Let's go get Tart.
And he looks utterly confused. And yes, you are still all in your midriff tops.
Yes, absolutely.
This weird midriff gang that's going around. And you leave this quivering mess of Lyandra as you head back off down the corridor. Now, Tart, as you're sprinting down this corridor, and at what looks like an intersection, you see young Vesh, hair standing on end, walking down this corridor past you into another one, with Emet slightly behind him and River following up the back.
Hey! I'm over here! Run.
Wait a second, we're trying to find Tart.
Vesh, I am right here!
Oh,
it is Tart.
Okay, bad news. The Dalkiori are here and they're in Demetrius and he wants me to be one of them.
They were in all the guards upstairs too, like all of them, and now
Like
they're dead.
all of
They're dead.
Ah!
But we were gonna kill him anyway.
Oh, okay.
I made him out really big. Imagine, if you will.
There's no time for imagination, Mesh. We have to go.
And you hear a wait, stop. And that drow suddenly feeling more confident as he has 5 guards behind him running towards you. Could you?
I got one more 3rd level spell slot. I swear to God, this drow. What was his name? Because I liked him and then he lied.
It was I've got it here. I've
What
actually
is his
just lost it. It's
It was a good name. Don't know.
Jahan. His name is Jahan.
Jahan.
God, yeah.
Yes. Ah, good name.
Of the House Deneth.
Ah,
Well,
That's what he
what
said he
told
was.
you. Hildy, I need that pen. I'm trying to write down.
there's- Before I do anything else, Alice, is it possible to? Do we know where we're going down here? I was just kind of following Tyron. Cool. Oh well. Oh, we're gonna be in trouble. It's fine, right? Trouble's our middle name, Midriff Trouble Squad. I'm going to stop hearing the drow, turn around, cock my head, and go bye-bye, and throw a fireball down the hall.
Yeah, roll for me, please.
Yes.
DC is 16. So first of all, for the drow,
I know he
he is useless. And for the guards,
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
one
One.
guard.
One save.
You've actually incinerated all of the
Yeah.
guards
Yep.
apart from one. And this one guard stands there just like, no, I will stand my ground. And you can see this drow that has fallen to the floor, just like singeing away.
Yeah.
He looks
Yeah.
barely just left on his feet.
At that, Emmett will look at Tar and Vesh and be like, wait, are we going that direction? And point down the hall at them.
Not necessarily. He just really pissed me off.
He lied to us.
So then Emmett will turn to the guard and be like, good job. Keep up the good work. Stand your ground. And turn
This
around
guy's
and
like,
throw the right?
Is Lyander? Did Lyander just see what kind of went down?
Oh no, Lyandra's back that way.
Okay, I was gonna be like, see,
Yeah.
liars, liars.
We
What
should
happened?
follow him.
Oh wait, who?
Lyander, we should follow him.
Oh, I left him back tangled in a tapestry. He wet his pants, I think.
Great, let's go get him. And I'm going to put my hand on Vesh's shoulder and inspire him. Yay.
Okay.
Get a D8 of inspiration.
Wait. Emma, which way?
Which
Back
way
or
did
this
he
way?
go?
Trevor, do you know
That
which way?
way.
Back to Lyander,
That
where we came
way.
from?
Yes, right the way we came from.
Yes, let's go.
Yeah, you can sprint back in the direction you came from. And Lyandra isn't there.
I told him to stay.
Does this hall dead end?
This is not a dead end hall. This seems to go off and round to the left. And you can see where he's obviously scrabbled away, like the tapestry's still down. You can actually see a vase that is smashed where he looks like he stumbled to get up and run down this hallway.
This looks like usually places I've been.
Yes, and you always leave a very good trail, so we should try and follow his trail. He probably knows how to get out of here.
Okay.
Okay. let's move because I only got like 30 seconds or whatever left of that hypnotic pattern. Probably less. Let's go.
Yeah, you can run around the corner and you can see there's one door open at the end of the corridor where it looks like someone has just dashed through, not cared, and just sprinted into this room.
Cool.
Probably that way.
Yeah. As we're going, I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Yeah.
Worth. Nice. Nice. Cool. Nice.
As you approach this room seems to be a library. It opens up into a huge space, and all of these bookcases seem to be arranged in circles so that you step into each circle with a table at the center, and you can see Lyandra just feeling around these bookcases like, oh, anywhere, like as he's panicking to try and get away.
Cool. I pop out my bracelet crossbow, my little bracelet hand crossbow. Oh, hi.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're here as well. Like, and he just sort of like bites like his fist as he looks
Yeah.
over at Vesh again.
You
Like-
missed me, didn't you?
I didn't try to hit you.
Uh-huh. And this is me not trying to hit you. And I shoot one like right above his head.
And you hear like a proper like squeal, as you can tell this man he's lived the life of luxury and he has earned this title. He has inherited it rather than his fathers and fathers' fathers who have earned this. And he's just, what is it you want?
A way out. Emat Vesh, do you think it would be a good idea to barricade the door behind us?
Yes, Emet will go and do that.
Tyron, you're obviously looking for like a secret door, so like we could help you.
No, it's fine.
We're going to help.
The crazy dwarf said, don't go through the doors, use the walls.
What, crazy dwarf? What? Is there more of you? Like, as he looks around quickly.
Actually, yeah, what happened to the crazy dwarf? Oh no. You heard the crazy dwarf go.
No one checked on the crazy dwarf.
Like the crazy dwarf, was it like the same kind of crazy dwarf that we met under Sharn?
Oh no, he was, well, sort of, but he was much creepier. He had made a deal with the traveler.
Great.
I'm sure there'll be no problems whatsoever.
Nope.
And he took the box. He took a gift from the traveler that
I'm
came
like
out of the wall.
Super glad that he did and you didn't though. We'll talk about that later. Okay.
And Leandra stood there like,
Yeah, so the secret door. Do you want to tell us anything about it?
look, okay, there is secret doors. I just don't know which one. I don't know the way out straight away, okay? Like this
you
is
just need to stop panicking.
I'm not panicking.
Do you want to?
No.
She
Okay.
picked up all of the other liars.
Like, and that you see like a physical gulp of like, okay,
River's
Right.
gonna growl at him.
Yeah.
oh, well, aren't you all lovely? Like, and you see him just suddenly start scrabbling, and he's just pulling books.
There's no way to go about looking for a secret door.
He's like, look, it's got to be here somewhere. It's going to be in one of these. And you look in this huge room of all these big concentric circle like bookcases. Look, if I pull the wrong one, then we've got a real problem. And it's just a.
What is the wrong one? What does the wrong one do?
I don't know. I've never pulled it. Like, and he's like, but I know it's bad. Like,
So wait, have you ever pulled the right book?
yeah. Well, one of them.
So you just need to calm down. I pull out Frederick, I shove it in his arms, and let it cast calm emotions. Because there's one calm emotions in it.
Oh, I used to have a bear like this. Like, as he sort of looks at it for a second, like holding it in his hands. Like,
Just a loner. I want it back.
Yeah, of course. Oh,
Calm
and you see him,
down.
like, he holds it to him and starts going around the books. Much calmer.
Can we help him? And that since he's helping us get the advantage or something?
I could inspire him.
I'm looking for a cookery book, a specific cookery book.
Cookery book.
Yes.
Is it flatbreads?
No,
Is it
it's
sarsaparilla?
Burritos?
no. What's wrong with you?
Describe what's in the book.
It's Mrs. Tilligan's home cooking. That's it. It should take us up to like the main kitchen. Like,
Okay, amazing. Can we look around for this?
yeah, can you roll perception for me, please?
Miss Tilligan.
Mrs. Tilligan.
Tilligan. And you have inspiration, Vash.
Yep. And that's a D8. Ooh, a 19.
Yeah.
We wanna nail-
22.
Yeah, you both sort of see it at exactly the same time. Like, you're both starting at one end and you come towards it and see this big old green book that looks pretty worn. And it's there with Mrs. Tilligan's home cooking.
I wonder if it has good recipes too.
No, I kind of want to just take it. Is it that one, Tyron?
And he's like holding this bear. Yeah, and he pulls it out and pulls the lever behind it. And as he does, the bookcase starts to go down.
Okay.
And the floor you're on starts to go up.
Oh, we should move.
Well, it's like an elevator. I mean, is it gonna like squish us, or is it like there's a whole?
No, it doesn't squish you, but as it comes up, it then moves aside, and you see stairs start to almost like they're growing out of the floor.
Gotcha.
Cool.
And you can see a trap door on the ceiling you weren't really looking at before.
Yes.
And he offers the bear back to Vesh. He's like, okay. And
we're going to all walk up together.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to just leave my little crossbow like in the small of his back. You know? Okay, I think we're good to walk up now.
Emet has piled furniture in front of the door we came out of.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's just there, moving everything.
Amazing.
And you start walking up the stairs. Are you walking up in any particular order?
I'm behind Tyron.
Okay.
I'll be in the
Tyron
back.
first. Yeah, or where should I be? Should I be at the front, open the trap door, or should we be at the back in case I slip?
Uh-huh. It's up to you.
Vesh is going to go first. He's had a good stair day so far.
Well, before Good Stare Day hits, we have hit 10 retweets. So we're going to have River 1, Emet 2, Tart 3, and Vesh 4. So let's... Number 1. Let's go. So... Could River please roll me 1d100, please?
Oh, if I remember how.
But yeah, you can start walking up these stairs. And... Oh, 31. And yes, Vesh is going to have to roll for me, please.
I haven't used that inspiration yet, so...
Yeah.
Just to check. Ooh, I'm gonna use it. Notice the 0 in the other column, and it's not a nat 1. The 0 is not the nat 1.
We're not looking over there.
Okay, let me get up the D8, right?
Yep. Hey, that is average.
Actually, for
10,
Vesh,
that's not too bad. I think you'd stumble, but you wouldn't fall. I don't think you would fall.
he probably does one of those, like, when you like put your toes on a step, and then you kind of your toes fall off and miss one. But I'm okay. I got it.
I'm right behind him, so I'll put my hands out.
Yeah, you get that sort of little boost from behind where River catches you, like just to boost you a little bit, and you sort of head up towards, because this spiral staircase doesn't have any like banisters, like any railings or anything like that. So this is, and it is moving up as you walk on it, as it sort of twists upwards to the ceiling, and you see this huge wooden trapdoor.
Can Vesh do either strength or athletics to open it up?
Yeah, could you roll me an athletics for me, please?
Ooh, that's only a 9.
Yeah.
He's still catching his balance.
Like you sort of stumble a little bit. You manage to push this up, and you can push it up just a little way, just to have a look. And you do seem to be in a kitchen. You can hear hissing of pots. You can hear clanking of pans. You see hurried feet rushing past you as you sort of look into this kitchen, and you can hear like, see, I told you it was a kitchen. I'm not gonna.
Does it smell good?
It smells real good in there.
Oh, then Vesh doesn't stop. As soon as he smells it, he pops it open and goes right up.
Yeah, you can push this straight open, and this is a huge kitchen. There are so many pots on the go, so much food. You can see lots of fireplaces with lots of like spit roasts going. You can see people, some of them are brewing beer out the back, and there's lots and lots of people in this kitchen rushing about. You can see a huge, very burly woman, like with an apron on, a ladle, a wooden spoon, and just all implements stuffed into this like apron. And she's waving this spoon about, giving orders. And as Vesh, you pop out, her eyes fall on you and goes, "What are you doing? What are you doing in my kitchen?"
Tyron said we could come.
What? Wait a minute. Why are you coming from down there?
Tyron brought us this way. He said it's dinner time. He kind of looks at him, gives him the look of the...
Yeah, Lance just pops up like, "Hi." And she's like, "Oh, my lord." And you see her quickly like bow, and the rest of them sort of turn and drop what they're doing and give him a bow as well. And he's like, "Yes, I have said they may come up here.
And have dinner.
And have dinner." Like, and you see him at my very own table. Please set it. Like, and that you see they're looking at him because he is still singed back, and you can see some of them whispering at the side.
Vesh comes over and goes, "Thank you, Tyrant," and does a cure wounds on him.
And
all of a sudden, Vesh's mood changes very quickly when there's food involved.
And he's just, "Thank you. Come on, like, go lay the table." Like, as he sort of gestures, and you see some people drop everything and they run out to another room, and then they come back in with like armfuls of these like silk napkins, silverware and stuff, and hurry into the others. "Yes, won't you stay for dinner?" Like, and he looks at you really nervously.
I rolled the wrong thing. I did healing word instead of cure wounds. Sorry. It's like
and
not
this,
the same.
literally.
Away.
This guy looks really nervous. He looks super nervous. And he's like, "Please, you may come sit down. Does anyone..." And you can see he's just fumbling over his words. He's inviting you to dinner, but it's like he's too scared of you at the same time. You can see he's running out what Tart will probably know is politeness. He's trying to...
Is the kitchen staff still like paying attention to us, or
not super? They're now thinking, "Oh my gosh, we've got to cook for people, make sure we've got..." So they're back. You can hear this huge like cook in the center like waving things about. You see her just like whack this wooden spoon over someone's head who's laughing in the background, not really doing anything, and hear a yelp. But other than that, it's chaos, but it's their chaos. It's not focused on you.
Cool.
As Emet walks through the kitchen, he'll make sure to let the head cook know not to worry, because he does not eat.
He's like, oh, well, that's very nice for you to say. Thank you very much. And she looks you up and down and she's like, what are you? Oh, out if, I'm sorry if that didn't come out very polite.
Warforged.
Yeah? All right. So you don't eat?
Nope.
Okay, it's less of a job for me. Right. And she goes back to shouting these orders across and just leaves you standing, this big warforged in the room, and you see some people looking at you again, don't really know what you are, but they seem to be more scared of her than anything else.
See, Tyron, your house can be just as nice as Marcus and Alana's.
As we're sitting there, I kind of keep touching Tyron, like that would look like in a kind of friendly or flirty manner, but I'm just like prestidigitating his clothes so he doesn't look so fucked up from what I did.
Yeah, and every time you do, he's like, ah, like,
yeah.
There's a little shiver.
Just like cleaning up the singeing. Getting rid of the smell of burnt hair.
Yeah, because you can really smell that. Like one of his eyebrows is gone. So he's now, he doesn't know this, but you can see him just please through to the other room. Through to the other room. And he,
okay.
Thank you, Tyron.
Yep.
Yeah.
I take his arm like he's escorting me to a dance.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, okay. And he just walks through, and it does open up into this huge dining hall of this one very long table. And you can see about 5 or 6 servants laying all this silverware out, getting everything ready as soon as they can. And he's like, please pick any seat you want.
River's gonna ask Vesh, do you think they have burritos?
I don't know. We can ask. I saw lots of roast back there, but you can kind of like, there was roast and there was rice, and so you can kind of like assemble your own. Dig out one of those big loaves of bread and just dump in the meat and the rice, and it's just like we had back at the market.
Oh, yay.
You can see Angela looks a little bit disgusted by what you're discussing right now, like slightly offended because of all the good food that is being cooked in there right now, but seeing tart on his arm sort of shakes him back.
Reminds him who his guest is.
He's just like, so please, any seat. And even though you don't let go of him, he does pull a chair out for you and offers it to you.
He's offering me a chair?
He's offering you a chair.
I just want to sit in his lap.
He's like, you what?
I'm going to sit in your lap.
Oh, like, okay. And he goes up to the end of the table, and one of the servants pulls a chair out for him, and he looks at you again, almost like a second glance, like, are you serious? But he's
Deadly serious.
And he sits himself down, when people like quite tightly hold themselves together, and you see him not relax at all, but slowly lower himself into this chair.
Great. And what I'm going to do is, like, if it has arms, I'm going to like perch on the arms.
Yes, it does.
And like, yeah, I'm going to just perch on the arms and have my legs across him.
Yeah, he's like, oh, okay.
Is this your first time?
Why? What are you going to do?
Being held hostage.
Uh-huh.
I remember my first time too.
Is it normally like this?
No, it's much less friendly than this is.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to be kidnapped properly then.
No, you really don't.
No. And then you can remember. You can see it's like he clicks in his head. He remembers what house you're part of and goes, "Oh, no." Like, he just keeps saying no in a different tone. and he looks to the rest of you like, you sit down, make yourself at home.
Vesh plops right down. Where are Tart and Tyron compared to the door to the kitchen?
They are probably at the other end of the table.
Okay.
But the table itself is closer to the kitchen than it is the other end of the room.
Vesh wants to be close enough to them so that, but basically, whatever the walking path like the serving people might take, so Vesh can, and I'll have one. Yep.
Yeah, you can sit sort of like on their left,
Yeah.
which where the kitchen would have to come past.
Yeah.
And what about River and Emet?
Emet will first kind of take a walk around the room, noting doors, windows, any sort of entrances, exits.
There are huge windows in this room, huge windows, and you can see this look out over the port by the ocean where you came in. And you can see lots of seagulls, lots of bright blue skies, the sort of a very greeny sort of ocean, and the busy city below with everything going on. But directly below you, you can see these beautiful gardens of the Leandra estate.
Emet will turn to him, point at the windows. Those are kind of a security risk, and keep doing his walk around.
Is that you can close the shutters if you prefer.
No, it could be an escape route. And then after he finishes, he'll stand right behind his chair.
Yeah. You see this guy tense up just that little bit more, and one of the servants comes over, is like, is everything okay? So he's like, yep, absolutely fine. Could you please bring out the starters? Like, he doesn't even look at the servant. He's very conscious of like Tart's legs on his lap right now, so he's just looking down.
I ruffle his hair.
Yeah, and you just sort of, as he sort of tries to put it back in place, it looks like this man normally really takes care with what he looks like.
Bring the expensive wine for Tart. She likes the good stuff.
I do.
I only ordered good stuff, Finn.
Well, then bring the best stuff.
Like, you see him just like, okay. And he sort of reaches out. He's like, could you go to my special reserve, please? And you sort of see this servant pause, like, are you sure, sir, that's saved for? He's like, what did I just say? Like, is this trying to be commanding, but it's not coming across as that. And this servant hurries off. And on the way in, about 5 servants come in striding through this kitchen. You can see and hear this cook yelling in that brief moment as the doors open and the steam comes out, and they walk in with platters of fish and just sort of like mussels and scallops and these things all laid out beautifully that are then put down in front of all of you. He's like, please, caught fresh, we catch them fresh, yes, from the port, yes. And the servants all carry a jug of wine, and they look to all of you as if to pour, and they pour into all of them, even Emet's. And you see Blue stood by the kitchen holding a glass of wine. It looks like it's been thrust into his hand, and he's just looking down at it, not too sure what to do with it, but he has it.
I have my wine in my hand, but I like put my hand over the top of it, like, and look at the others, like, So after the servants, yes. You're muted, but I know what you said.
It's the best stuff.
After the servants leave, I offer my glass to Tyron.
And he's just like, with one of his restrained arms like underneath it, he's like, yeah, and he does drink some and puts it
okay
down again.
I'm gonna just wait a few minutes because
Yeah.
poisons take a few minutes, so I'm just gonna wait a second.
He's like, I'm not very good at this.
No, you're doing a really good job.
Okay. He genuinely looks slightly more relaxed when you said he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
He's like,
I'm a friendly person. Why wouldn't he be relaxed right now?
you're all stood over.
But no, Vesh is sitting down to his immediate left.
Yeah. But you can wait there for a few minutes. The seafood, it's almost like a pile up. Like you've got one big platter in the center, which is like huge, almost like lobster type things and prawn, and it just gets to more and more seafood all the way up.
Cool.
If you were trying to keep Vesh from eating, you're probably gonna have to physically intervene to not dig into the pile of seafood. It's like he puts down his glass and he's like, okay, and starts.
Yeah, they would have done a line if it's a shared plate. So I'll let him eat.
Yeah,
His
it's
heart's
very
content.
like the crab and
That's
everything
fine.
like that.
So while we're okay, just slow down a little, Vesh. Use your napkin. Okay.
Oh right, I don't want to get my crop top messed up.
Nope. Oh God, I forgot.
Oh my God.
We probably are scarier for the crop tops.
Yeah, I think he's more scared because he's like, I did not expect this from these.
Yeah, when you've got like an
why?
assassin sitting in your lap, you don't expect them to have a warforged and a crop top, a giant boy, a giant lightning boy.
He's more thinking like, oh my gosh, is this like a squad? I don't know about a really
Midriff squad.
Yeah, the midriff is just like, oh, they obviously know what they're doing. They've got uniforms.
So, Tyron, now that we are alone together again, I know you're super excited about it. So what the fuck, man?
What do you mean?
Why are you working with the Dalkiore?
The what?
The creepy thing that possessed Demetrius.
Is he not always like that?
No, you think people are just like that?
I don't know. I only get to see one other house. Look, I'm kind of new to this. My father died like last year. I don't really know what I'm doing.
Marcus
I have
is
one
dead?
example. No, that's House Dennis. They live down the road. Like...
Christ. Just testing you. Hold on, my pen fell under my keyboard. There it is.
Well, you might want to talk to someone because your front hall, the door's broken, and all the.
Why's my door broken?
We found it that way, but all the people were dead when we walked inside. You've got a house full of dead guards. We didn't do it.
What? Like, and he genuinely looks.
No, we really didn't. We were gonna, but they were already dead when we got in. Wait, I should. Sorry, Tart.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
They were dead.
Yeah,
We're
that's what
dead.
these things do. They like possess you and then they kill other people.
Damn, they were good guards. Like he did. So I don't know where I'm gonna find more of them.
No, especially because all the ones underground are currently burning to a crisp.
Those were all drow, weren't they?
Not
It was
all-
drow mercenaries
yeah,
when we first walked
they
in.
were drow mercenaries.
Yeah, it's dead drow mercenaries.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what? Oh, also, I think Jahan is still alive. But I'd really prefer him not to be. Maybe I'll take care of that later.
Noted.
Oh, okay.
So, Demetrius of House Tharani, why were you working with him and kidnapping girls? Stupid boy.
And lying.
And lying.
Look, I mean, he said he had something that could help me. That could, I'm not good at this. Okay, I'd like to think I'm more than a pretty face. Like, and you can see him like really sort of, he's like, look, he said he had something that could help me, that could make me strong like my father was, and I could rule the house like I'm supposed to. I just needed to help him with one thing.
Right.
Yeah, he
So-
just said some dancer girl from somewhere came in and they needed to question him. I didn't know that was you at the time.
Some dancer girl. Like the best dancer girl.
I'm just saying.
Okay, Tyron. Well, first thing about the ruling a house, only hire mercenaries that you have something on already. Okay?
Okay. Is that standard?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Otherwise, you have your like loyal guards, and then you get something on them, so they will be even more loyal. Like 101, you know?
You might want to take notes. She knows all this stuff.
I'm really sorry. I didn't know who you were.
Yeah, you didn't, did you?
No, I didn't. I would like to say on behalf of House Randa that we are very sorry.
Aw, that's so sweet. I'm gonna just like,
Yeah, he's like,
just do it.
okay.
Oh, I like you, Tyron. I like you a lot. You're
Oh.
very pliable.
Okay. Thank you. Like, and he just
Got these little rosy cheeks. I can't get over it.
oh, okay. So how long am I going to be held hostage?
Just like, till
After
you're
dinner.
done. Definitely after dinner. So you're done answering our questions and we've eaten and you provide a safe passage out of here.
Uh-huh. Okay. I can do that. I can do
Great.
that. I can do that.
So do you know how many more people like Demetrius are in your little underground fun thing?
If I'm honest, I didn't know I had that much access to down there.
Okay.
Welcome to the
But
academy.
he
Please take
did
your
bring
seats.
some people with him, like people to escort him, and bodyguards. Although I don't think he needs it. They were down there. They were waiting in one of the offices, but that's about it. Quite a large, round man was in there. One of his
Looks like we got a new friend.
was someone who would accompany him most of the time.
Cool.
Like just to help him with stuff.
Was it like he was helping him or like he was watching him?
No, helping, definitely helping. He would carry his coats. He would, like a servant, but not a servant.
Okay. Do you have any spare bedrooms here, Tyron?
Yes, 12.
Welcome to the academy. Please take
Cool.
your seats.
Do you know how many entrances from the dungeon lead like directly into your house?
No. But I know there is a map somewhere because my father had it. I just haven't got round to checking it yet.
Oh no, you guys, I like Tyron. I think we should keep him.
He's just useless.
I think we should keep him. Okay.
Have a pet tyrant.
Yeah.
I was gonna say having House Lyander basically under the sway of House Fjarlin, that could be a pretty cool little
Yeah.
change in the plot.
I like him.
Because I assume Tart, not just you, but I assume Tart also knows what House Lyander's all about.
Yeah. Right, Alice? What are they about?
You would probably know what they were about.
What are they about?
I'm going to send you something. To give you
I love things.
over.
Cool.
I'll send it in the Zoom.
I've actually got pulled up right now if you want me to
Oh, nice.
here.
Yeah.
Just because I was
Oh, that's how you spell it. Cool. I don't even know what I was writing. Ah, sweet. Cool.
But he's currently sat there quite awkwardly, and he's very much. I can probably find the map at some point, you know.
Oh yeah, we could go on a scavenger hunt. River, does that sound like a fun, like team bonding activity that's not torture related?
Yeah. What's a scavenger hunt?
Well, it's like when you go around like following clues to find the thing you're looking for.
Oh yeah, yeah. We used to play that at home.
Sweet. That would be fun. I think that's a fun thing for us all to do after dinner together.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh, okay. So, you would like. Are you done? Like, and he looks over at Vesh. So, Vesh, what is the state of the food in front of you right now?
Well, the first course is done, but Vesh is still hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like,
We're starving.
you want more food? Yeah, I can do that. And you can see him.
Well, you said this was starters, right? That means
Yeah,
there's
but I didn't know
more.
if you wanted the map or okay. Let me just. It's okay. And he's like, and he just rings a little bell to the side of him, and another 4 servants come with big trays. I'm talking all the like roast, wild boar. There's lots and lots of just chickens. There's potatoes. There's all manner of just the cozy food. There's piles up of veg and lots and lots of heavy gravy and beer and wine, and they just start bringing it out already carved.
Vesh has probably already used like 3 napkins down from him because of the way that he's eating. So like at other place settings, or if the servants just basically keep the napkins coming because
Yeah, one of them comes out with a big stack and just puts them next to
hey,
Vesh.
thank you. I don't want to mess up my new outfit.
Nope. You don't.
I mean, we can go through every course, but basically, Vesh will keep
Yes.
eating until it's time to do something else.
Yeah, and they will keep bringing the courses out. Like after a while, as they see you're slowly coming to the end of the next, you will see more servants appear with these ridiculously over-the-top desserts. I'm talking, think Victorian style over-the-top jellies. So every color you imagine, with probably little images of Stormreach in within all of these. And he's like, I have a sweet tooth, so there will be a lot.
I do too.
Oh,
Me too, actually.
oh, yeah.
Hey, usually when you have stuff this color though, they've got alcohol in them.
No, as the one at the back has alcohol, and you can see this green jelly, and it looks like it's bubbling on the inside, just going up and down, and the bubbles change color as they go. That was
It's like a lava lamp, alcoholic lava lamp dessert. I love it.
Yeah.
It's just like it was my great aunt's favorite, so we always have it. I don't actually like it, but it's
Tart will drink it.
it's quite
Yep.
strong.
I will.
It's quite strong.
I'll sip it. You know what I mean.
Who's your cook? She's really good. Oh, is it Miss? What's the name of what was the recipe book?
Oh, wait. Tilligan.
So does Miss Tilligan work for you? Is that who your chef is?
Well, that's a very old book. It's actually her great granddaughter, Vera.
Vera Tilligan?
Mistress Vera is a lot more terrifying than the lady who wrote that book.
Well, I like her because she cooks lots and it's really good.
Oh, she's good at cooking. We keep her in the kitchen because her social skills need to be improved, but otherwise, she's great.
So, Tyron.
Yeah.
Do you have someone who is in charge of your actual guards and isn't a drow mercenary?
Yes, I do. I have a captain, and he just sort of like looks really excited for a moment that he's actually got. He's like, can you? Oh wait, hang on. What is the fellow's name? You know, I haven't spoken to him in such a long time.
Emet is just shaking his head. Just utter disgust and disappointment. What is this?
Captain Karkin. Captain Karkin. That's him. Would you like me to send for him?
I would, yes.
Okay.
But we're going to all have to act very chill when he gets here.
Okay.
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 You can borrow Frederick again.
No, he might think there's something
Okay.
up, but thank you. I like Fred. Yeah.
He's pretty
okay.
cool.
Excuse me, and he just sort of, as this servant turns out to give out, as he brings out this last tray of like these very sort of white ice cream sort of jelly type things. So could you please go get Captain Karkin, please? I would really like to speak to him. And this servant just bows and disappears again. And not too long after you're delving into these desserts, you see this fairly old man, like white hair, very smart, white moustache and beard, very rosy in the cheeks, very portly. He is round. He is in armor, but you suspect he hasn't fought for a very, very long time. This is ornament. And he walks, is like, good evening, and just a bow to all of you. He's like, this is Captain Karkin. Captain Karkin, these are my guests.
Alice, before he came in, I would have changed my face to Ophelia's.
Yes, that's absolutely fine.
Okay. Hello, Captain.
Hello. He's like, you must say that I recognize that face. And he sort of smiles and he bows lower than before. He's like, it is an honor to have you, Lady Fialin. I did not realize that you would be visiting our premises in so long.
Yes, just making new friends here with Tyron. He was good enough to show us some of the dungeons that the city is so renowned for. The only problem was that we ran into some not so friendly people who seemed to also be down there, and we were a little worried about them coming into your lovely estate. I heard that the late Lord Lyranda had a map of all the entrances from the estate.
Yes. Is that something my lady would be interested in?
Yes, I think it would be very helpful. Have you been to the front hall yet?
No, I've actually been in my study.
Ah, well...
The front hall is more of a back entrance, but you know, it's all there for show.
Of course. It might be wise to check it out. You see, the unfriendly folks that we saw down in the dungeons seem to have been planning a bit of a surprise, but they were... Well, I'm not really sure, but I would suggest walking in the front hall.
Oh, fascinating. I will go and look myself. No.
Yes, I would take some men and women with you.
Yes.
I don't know how many you have on staff.
Oh, I'm sure there's enough here. I will be back soon, and I will send a servant up with the map for you.
Wonderful.
And he turns on his heel. He does a very sort of, he stamps his foot and salutes to you and disappears in a very awkward marching fashion, which you think is more ornamental and very ritualistic rather than actually of any use.
Vesh takes very, very close note because he thinks it's really cool.
Yeah.
And he's definitely going to use that at some point.
Yeah.
He wants to look
Oh, I
official.
know.
And I can't wait till he completely fails the dexterity check to try to emulate.
I was gonna do the like ball change turn.
Oh yeah. Vesh ball change turn is gonna be a sight.
And after a while, you see a servant rush in, almost breathless, coming out, holding this map in their hands, and presents it to Tyron like, "Sir?" And they just sort of look at you awkwardly and lean over you a little bit and take it. Thank you. That will be all. You can go. And he sort of tries to shuffle this younger sort of servant along. He's like, "Here you are."
Wonderful. So I'll put the map on the table for everyone to see, and I think we should look for any entrances from that area, and then barricade them as best we can.
Yeah, you can see about 15 to 16 different entrances.
Oh my
into the
god.
house. And you see all of them. Some of them look to be very old, like they're almost like a question mark there, like they're old passages, if they're still there at all. Some of them you can see two of them have crosses through them, and on the key you can see it says cave in. But others look to be fairly well used. And Lyandra is sort of leaning forward going, "I had no idea we had so many of these." Like just leaning forward and pulling this map slightly closer to him. He goes, "Oh god, there's one in my bedroom." Like as he sort of just has this sort of look and nosy over this map.
Let's just spend the rest of the adventure with teaching him how to run a house.
Yep, I think so. Oh, we have to go to the jungle at some point.
Emet is dying on the inside every time this kid talks.
It's like, I want to go make I want to go like make Vera a better person and let her feed me. Vera Tilligan, come on.
Yeah, just the main plot line. Bye.
Bye.
To everyone else.
So I think we can assume that how much did you disclose to Demetrius about your house and the dungeons?
Well, it won't be this because I didn't know about this.
Right. Fortunate.
Wow. And he's sort of like almost finding it amazing of all these different routes. And he's like, "You can get one all the way down to the harbour. Huh. Who would have thought?"
That Emet is like, that is very, very fortunate. I think the only fortunate thing to come out of all this
is that you didn't know any of it.
Yes.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't tell him anything. He just asked me to, and he looks a bit ashamed, to find you.
Great. So you
He
hired.
doesn't like dogs, though. I learned that.
What?
My dog. He doesn't like dogs. It turns out Demetrius is scared of dogs.
That's super useful information. Emet will turn to Tyre. I'm going to assume that he wasn't scared of dogs before.
Was he scared of dogs before?
Probably not. They
Yeah.
would have had a lot of warhounds.
Yeah. He seems to be like one of those big, like not Baskerville, those big, whatever they're called, those big, like tall.
I mean, it could be a
curly
Baskerville
hounds.
hound. That would be terrifying.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder if he's scared of me.
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, maybe it's just because like he likes to jump up a lot. I don't know.
Huh. Okay. This is weird, but is there anything about the Dalkiori being scared of dogs in like stories or anything like that?
You could roll me a history if you want.
Okay.
Could I roll as well?
Yeah, of course you can.
Cool. Let's do it. 17.
5.
You're young, Vish.
And, you know, it's one of those random things.
Yeah.
It's not so much that they're you would have read not that necessarily they were scared of them, but that animals can sense them before people can. So they have like a human form if they have taken over something, whatever, and they do look fairly human or elven, but animals can tell. And Tara's like, I can get my dog if you want. I mean,
Vesh looks at to Tart.
what's that? Oh, okay. I mean, can I go get him, or would you like me to send for someone else to get him?
You can send someone else to get him.
Okay. And then he rings that little bell again. He's like, "Hi. Yeah, could you go get Pilot for me, please?" And this servant just looks in like, "It's in here. It's in here." Yes, and disappears again. And not too long after, you feel this door like crash open as this huge dog bounds in. And Tart, this dog is effectively trying to jump on Tyron, so it's now going to be jumping on top of you. It doesn't care that you're there. It's trying to get at Tyron, and this huge tongue is coming out and licking him all over the face. And this is like a Great Dane.
Vesh has got the biggest bone that is left on the table. It's like, Pilot!
It will pause for a second, and it will jump at you, like full blown, take you out off the. In fact, most of you will see Vesh disappear as this dog
table, a dog chair, Vesh falling over backwards.
And Tyron's like, see, he's real friendly, so I don't know why he's scared of him.
Who's a good boy?
I don't know why he's scared of him.
Well, it's probably because Pilot here can tell.
Tyron's like, yeah?
Can tell when they are around.
Who are?
The things that are possessing people.
Oh, yes, of course. Pilot, put that down. Like, as you can see this dog working its way, like its big nose sniffing around this jelly.
We should have Pilot check the staff.
Ooh, good idea. But like super casual, like.
Vesh totally fails at trying to sneak the jelly to
I was going to say, is that what you're trying?
Yes, of course, Vesh is trying a sleight of hand. So probably pulls more than one jelly. They probably hit the floor.
Yeah, and you see Blue stood there as this dog bounds over to Blue. And when he stands up, he's only that much shorter than Blue. Like when this dog is at full length, and Blue's just, Emet, what is it doing? Like, he looks like he's panicking a little bit, but not. He's just sort of confused as to what is happening.
Just stand still, Blue. He's just smelling you.
And then the dog does sort of bound down again and start to just move its way about the room. This is a big dog. It's sniffing its way through things. You can see some of the servants look really sort of like upset as one of them, his huge tail accidentally knocks one of the wine glasses off the table and smashes it on the floor. But Tyron doesn't seem to be too bothered about it at all.
Oh no, he's a good boy.
Vesh probably keeps following Pilot around, trying to pet him, feed him, whatever he's trying to get, and probably as destructive as Pilot is. That's just like that kid when we stopped eating dinner, but all the adults are still having a conversation at the table, and so I'm like, I've left my seat and wandered out.
Okay. Well, odds are that they don't know the entrances.
Well, I hope
So
not.
they could probably find the library one. So we might want to block that one they met. And then I think we could stay here. We could stay in the night. I don't know about you, but I am exhausted.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of rooms. Like I said, there's like 12 of them that aren't being used.
I think I'm going to stay in your room.
And you see him just flush at it. Whoa, wait, what?
Yeah.
Well, I'll go in one of the other rooms.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And he looks like he has gone bright red. And he's like, okay.
If there's an entrance in there, someone should be with you to protect you.
Well, we could block it, right? Like what he said, and sort of gestures over to Emet.
Oh, we will.
Oh, okay.
You're not quite done hostaging yet.
Oh no, I didn't expect that. I just didn't expect that.
What?
Yeah, what are you thinking she's gonna do?
I don't know. I just don't know why. Just no.
I'm going to sleep on the couch and make sure you're okay.
I was gonna say I'll sleep on the floor.
Oh, I kind of like that.
I don't mind sleeping on the floor.
Okay.
Okay. And he's like, would you like to see the rooms? I'm assuming all next to each other.
That's a good idea. Just right after we talk to your captain about the 40 dead bodies.
And this, as if on point, this captain strides in. You can hear that clanking of the armor as he walks in across this stone hallway. Like, hello. There's a bit of a mess in the hallway. But we're cleaning it up. It's all good. Gosh knows what happens. I'm afraid you're going to need a new door, sir. As he sort of looks down at the at Tyron. So, I thought I would. That's fine. Anything on the bodies? Like, he's like, oh, don't know. Just all drop dead, no wounds, nothing. A lot of blood, but no wounds. Interesting. I will be reporting into the city guard.
Very good, Captain. There are a few entrances we'd like to block. Emet here can help you with that.
Hello. Like, he just sort of looks over at Emet. He's like, gosh, you're a warforged, aren't you? That's fantastic. Like, as he sort of looks you up and down.
Emet kind of tilts his head and is like, yes. Fantastic.
Is it just me, or does anyone else see like the modern Major General from the Pirates of Penzance as this guy? I'm ready for him to burst into song.
I will resist.
It's like canon now.
He's like, well, shall we go and have a look then? Do you need where's the map? I'll take the map. Or would you like the map?
Oh, Emet, why don't you take the map and go with the captain?
I can go close up the kitchen hatch.
Great.
I want to thank Miss Tilligan.
Perfect. And then we can all get a good night's sleep, or, half of one.
And the captain turns. He's like, well, come on, lad. And he just sort of starts marching off in the direction that he came from.
Emet will pick up the map and kind of just mark which ones they need blocked off, which ones he wants to check. pretty much doing his thing, and follow the captain.
Yeah, you can hear the clank, even if you lose sight of him, you can hear that clanking of the armor and the chainmail. This is not, people don't tend to wear a lot of chainmail now. This guy is wearing what he wants. He's got that very smart, like waxed tash that I'm describing my great uncle so much, but he's got a very waxed tash and back white hair, and he marches off down the corridor and you can follow. Is Vesh going into the kitchen?
Vesh goes into the kitchen, and I assume, Vera, I assume, is not hard to
you hear her before you see her.
Yeah.
It's very much they're all still cooking in there, they're all still hustling and bustling, and you can see her like basting this another wild boar that's over this fire. And she's showing it to a younger one. It's like, you are doing it wrong. How difficult is it to just that? And she's just repeating, this little kid's like nodding furiously.
Chef Tilligan?
And you, like, her head snaps around. It's like, what? Oh, you all right?
That's the best meal I've ever had. He walks over, gives her a big giant hug.
He's like, oh, well, lad, as long as you're happy, and just like pats him on the back. So, I'm very glad that that's a good meal for you. I mean, some of you, like, looks over at the others, respect good food. At this kid who quickly starts basting his hog faster. So,
I don't even know the last time I've actually been full, and you had the best stuff, and there was so much of it, and I just wanted to say thank you.
Well, thank you. And she says, as she sort of she pushes you back to talk to you. So,
yeah.
Well, thank you. But it's very rare that I get thanked.
I'm Vesh, by the way.
Well, it's very nice to meet you, Vesh. I'm Vera.
Hi, Vera. Can I sneak back later if I get hungry?
Of course you can. Like, as she's looked really sincere about it, she's like, I'm here all evening. In fact, and she sort of gestures to like a rocking chair over in the corner. That's where I sleep anyway. So you can just come in, and I'm sure we can find you something.
Thank you. And as he sort of walks by there, I assume there's like some like rolls or something that that are coming out, and just sort of be like, Vesh goes over and like looks at the hatch and closes it up, and I assume there's like big, massive, heavy like cooking and baking tables and such.
Oh, there's like almost cauldron-esque things in here as well, which they don't look used anymore. It looks like older stuff there, but you could probably
So Vesh says, so we're gonna want to block that because there's bad people down there. So
whoa. Look, okay, darling, hang on. You can't just come in here and start changing up my kitchen. What is that?
It's that hatch that we came out of earlier.
Yeah. Doesn't that go down to the wine cellar?
It kind of goes further and further and further, and there's like, well, bad people, and there was something that was growling, and like, I think it's a dragon. So we want to block, we want to like close it so that nothing can get up that way.
Oh, you're sweet. And like, she sort of looks at you, and then she has a think and goes, actually, no, block it up. I've had some things going missing from my kitchen. And you see her sort of like really twisting the end of this ladle. So like, it'll probably be better for them if you do block that. And she sort of does like a little like flex and walks back over to one of the other pots.
And then I think with that, if he, I know what I'm going to do. Oh, I got to figure out how I can make it work, but I know I've used it before. So what I want to do is there like any kind of a hasp or anything on this, or hinges or anything like that?
Yeah, there's two big hinges, like big iron like hinges at the back, and then you've got like a ring pull. Pretty simple trapdoor.
Okay. So what Vesh does is he is going to go down there and sort of put his hand down right over top of like a way so that the ring could sort of a place in the rock where the ring could reach. And he puts his hand down there and he does a thunder wave to like break up the rock.
Yeah. Puts
the ring down inside the rock, piles the rock back up over all the little pieces, and casts mending. So now that the ring is now embedded in the rock. That's a trick that I learned back from the merchant. That's how he kept people from getting in his stores.
And this woman looks down at you and says, "You know you are a very talented young man."
Ah, shucks.
It's like, no, it's all right. No, thank
really
you.
Bad.
You've done me a great service. I've been asking for like proper seals and stuff for months, but you've actually done it. And then like she looks over at side and there's someone walking past with this huge tray of like cookies, and she's like, "There you go, hot." Like she says, it's like, "Don't put it in your mouth straight away."
Okay. Vesh is like, and it's just kind of like, and of course takes a bite. Yeah. Thanks, Vera. Walks out with his plate of cookies.
Just like waves this like wooden spoon in your direction. What is Tart and River doing right now?
River is still playing with the dog.
Yeah. Yeah, this dog is sort of slowly settled as you've got like that scratch just right behind the ear, and you can see his back leg is going.
River, what would you think of walking Pilot around the house and just, like meeting all the servants, making sure they're not, little evil possessed elf fairy shadow things? I don't even know.
Okay. Is this part of the scavenger hunt?
Yes, actually, yes.
Okay.
And if you find the prize, run and get me.
Oh, is the prize the evil shadow thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Cool. Hopefully there are none here. That would be like so great. And if you find none, then you get a different prize. I'm going to see what I have in my bag.
Oh, Pilot, do you want to go outside and play?
And this dog immediately jumps to his feet.
Okay, let's go outside and play.
And it will tear after you as you leave. And then you and Tyron sat in this room really awkwardly.
Oh no, we're going upstairs.
Yeah, he's like, "Okay, this way." And he sort of waits for you to get off him.
Yeah, she'll get off him.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah. He's like, "Thank you." This way. And he leads you out the same door he met, and the captain left out of, and he takes you along this corridor, and you can see another very grand staircase that goes up, almost like on a balcony overlooking what looks like a ballroom, and then through another corridor to this almost like another huge ballroom-esque thing with lots of rooms all off it. Another staircase along the side with other rooms along the top as well. And he's like, "Mine's that one." And he starts walking up the stairs. And he stops by this door, and he opens it and steps in. And it is this, you can see a huge, almost like dome-like window that looks out over the ocean. You can see a huge 4-poster bed, and almost like a sofa or like chaise longue type thing, which looks like he's had some just clothes thrown across it. There's one room off to the side, and there is also another room attached to it as well, which you can guess one of them is a bathroom and one of them is probably a closet. Looking at him,
Where would, according to the map we looked at, where would the entrance in here be?
you can see that there is an entrance by a huge fireplace. So he's got a fireplace on one end of the side of the wall. It almost takes up the whole wall. This is a huge marble fireplace. It's about the same height as you. You can almost step under it. And it's not on or anything, but it's just a big grate on the inside. He's like, this is my room. Ignore the tapestry. There's some tapestries of like almost like fairy tale-esque stories, and he's like, just they've always been here. And that's Pilot's bed, and you can just see this huge, pretty manky cushion in the that's covered in hair.
Okay, I'm going to try and... Is there anything that, with Tyron's help, that I could potentially move over the grate? Because I am very weak.
He's like, what do you want over the grate?
Like something to block anyone from coming up.
Okay.
What do you have? You
I've
have like
got
a shiffer robe?
Scuttle. Like, and he just sort of like and starts dragging this coal scuttle along, and it's just full of coal. He's
Okay.
Like, I mean, I could find other stuff. We just pile stuff in it. We'll pile stuff in it. And
that's a great idea.
Like starts throwing whatever he's got. He's got this chest which he starts dragging over to this over to this where this grate is. He moves the grate, and just you see him really pushing this. He's not a weak person. You see, he's actually quite strong. He just doesn't know what he's doing.
Don't make me like him more, Alice.
And she pushes this this like chest onto the thing. He's like, that might be enough. I hope. Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely hear them coming if they try.
I mean, no one can lift that, right? Like that. And you see this chest with a grate on top, a coal scuttle, and it looks like he's just thrown some like boxes and some random things that aren't heavy at all onto this just to make it awkward. He's like, well, even if they come up out of it, we'll hear them.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Time to go to bed.
What? Like, he looked outside and you can see the sun's only just...
Oh, is it? I have no idea what time it is.
He's looking up and he's like, I mean, I can. I am pretty...
I mean, I would hope so. I would hope you are capable.
He's like, yeah, well, you take the bed and I'm gonna just go get changed. And he sort of backs into like the wardrobe area and closes the door. And shortly after comes back out in these fairly over the top pajamas. like and he suddenly realizes how sort of childlike they are. He's like, my mom gave me these.
Is your mother still alive?
No.
Oh.
Sorry.
No.
And he's just like goes over to like the chaise-longue bit, and he's got like a blanket under his arm, and he throws a pillow against it, and he just gets on it and just starts pulling the cover up right up to his neck now that he feels slightly embarrassed by his pajamas.
Oh.
He's like, and he just lays there looking up at the ceiling.
Good.
Do you want to do anything before I hop over?
Tart's like, my job here is done.
Yeah. He's basically
I've successfully taken over another house. My mother would be so proud. No, she's just gonna go to bed. She's exhausted. She's having emotions.
Well, Vesh, you come out of this kitchen and there's no one there. apart from Blue has stood there with a glass of wine still. No one's told him to go anywhere, so he's just stood there.
Hey, Blue, let's go exploring.
He's like, okay, and he puts the glass down.
Because this never goes wrong. It's like
This is literally what happened in the collector's house.
it's literally what happened.
What happened?
You left Fesh and Blue alone, and we found giant Warforged in the basement.
I'm very tired and I had that strong thing that I don't even know what it was, but it was delicious. And I have had an emotionally taxing day and a magically taxing day. I'm going to bed.
So Vesh will take Blue's glass of wine and drink it himself. Vesh has now had a couple drinks of couple glasses of wine. So I don't think he's drunk because he's eaten a lot of food, but I think he's definitely buzzing and probably his judgment's a little impaired.
Can you roll me a Constitution save, please?
We'll see how impaired it is.
Hey.
Come on, Vesh. This is what you're good at. 23. He's a big boy.
He's big, like you've absorbed it pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think his judgment's probably a little bit impaired. And I think we'll just sort of kind of like wander around the house and see if we see anything interesting. I mean,
you wander around this house and it is covered in oil paintings very similar to the outfits that you saw Tyron wearing. And they're all very posed and they all have fairly blonde hair. You can tell these are like family portraits.
right.
There's a lot of ornamental stuff which you can tell have been here for a very long time. And there's the odd servant that look at you both as you wander past this very, very tall child, effectively, in this wonky-looking Warforged. As you can sort of go along the corridors and have a look around.
I mean, Vesh will be definitely very careful of things that look expensive or like that are on pedestals and stuff like that. So, I mean, he's not gonna, he's gonna try to not like break things because he doesn't want to break things. But certainly, if there's any of those like big epic paintings or portraits or more things that are tapestries that tell a story, he is going to definitely get drawn in to stare at those as he sort of does an art tour of this house.
Yeah, you can see Blue every now and then stops at the tapestries as they are moving. You see a lot of battle scenes in this, but the battle scenes, they are all moving, but they're not very realistic. They're very simple outline drawings, so they move almost like a toy.
Right.
They depict this, and then there's one tapestry as you find some of the bedrooms, and you find a bedroom which looks like maybe it was once for a child, maybe for Tyron when he was younger, but there's a tapestry that runs all the way around the room, and you see this huge dragon take off and just sail around the edge of this room before disappearing the other side and reappearing and repeating. And we are ready for another trinket. So
ooh,
I am going to roll. So look. Another one. So that means, River, can you roll me another one, please?
Oh, cool.
I had a lot of stuff in this
on
card.
the scavenger hunt.
Yep.
Oh, big numbers.
That's a good one. Okay. Yeah, so you find all these tapestries and things like that. And as I said, you search you're now on the same level that Tart and Tyron are on, but you can find all these bedrooms which have, this one in particular does feel like a child's room. Maybe Tyron's when he was younger, but
Vesh there's a dragon that flies across the wall, so he's sort of selling it. I guess if there were any of the tapestries that if there was any tapestries that sort of depicted this sort of relationship between the dragons and the giants, you'd take special attention. Or if there's like any books here that are like stories maybe, or I mean, yeah, if there's like a book of fairy tales or something, just because Vesh doesn't know this, but just sort of, giants and dragons, and we're now in the land of giants and dragons. So I think he's kind of.
Yeah, you don't see any giants, but the other things you do see move about the room, like there's some carvings on this four-poster bed, and it's of a little airship that's almost like a mobile, but it is just flying on its own around the top. And there is a wall of books, a wall of children's stories, a wall of what looks to be a lot of educational books as well. But there's quite a lot of fairy tales amongst that.
I think Vesh will probably pull down one that's got an interesting cover or an interesting, embossment on it, or if it's got any of those sort of magic things that move around, and he'll pull it out and start reading, and he'll probably read it out loud to Blue, just like, imagine this. Once upon a time, and start reading to Blue.
Yeah, Blue is sat like on one of those really tiny kids' chairs, but it's really hunched up whilst he's listening to you do this.
So yeah, I'll be like sitting on the bed, and we're like having camp. We're having a slumber party.
And we're now going to hop over to River. River, whereabouts are you headed off to as this dog bounds after you?
So we're going to start outside and walk around the premises and sniff everyone and everything.
Yeah, you
because I don't really know what I'm looking for.
You can walk around like this courtyard, and you also find these gardens, these really beautiful gardens with lots of fruit trees and things like that in them. You can see a sundial at the center. And there are a few people in this garden, literally gardeners that seem to be tending to the fruit and other bits and bobs as like as the sun starts to go down. And as you do, your foot knocks something on the floor. And it's a small silver brooch.
Okay, so I'll pick it up. Ooh.
And the dog sort of sniffs at it and wrinkles its nose a bit, but then bounds off towards where and tries to bother some of the people on the ladders who are trying to get the apples out of the tree, and they're sort of trying to get rid of him at the same time as they nearly knock him over.
Okay, so I'll put that in my pocket. I'll just look at it funny, and maybe Tart will like this, and put it in my pocket. And then I'll ask the dog, did you find what Tart was looking for? Scary shadow things?
And this dog is just yelping, like at the tree itself, like that he can see someone with a basket of fruit, and you think he's trying to get at this. And you can sort of walk around this garden a bit longer, and his nose is to the floor as you ask him to search for things, and he's just sniffing around, sniffing here and there. And then the dog stops and pauses, its nose lifted in the air, as someone stands at the other end of the garden looking at you. And now we're going to hop over to Emet. So, Emet, you're walking around with this captain who is asking all number of questions, very much like, so what were you in the war, and where did you go, and what do you do now, and how did you come to be here?
Emet will answer the first question. But if it seems like, because there's typically when older people are lonely, they don't actually want to hear the answers. They just want to converse. And if Emet notices that, he's going to start to lie. Just for the fun of seeing if he's actually listening. And if he's going to retain this information or not.
Yeah, literally to every question you answer, he goes, very good, that's fabulous. Like as he like keeps going, and you see he's looking around at different parts of the map as he's talking to you. You can tell he is interested, but at the same time it's almost like he doesn't understand. Like he's been out of things for too long, and he's almost blagging the way that he actually knows what's going on.
So Emmett will just start telling any sort of tall tale that comes to mind. And then we were in the trenches and the dirt whales attacked.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, never seen one. I remember those. Like as he keeps walking forward, not really quite hearing. You suspect he could be a little bit deaf in one ear as well, sort of hearing things slightly differently. You can see like an ear horn sort of stuck into the back of his belt, which he probably doesn't use because he doesn't want people to know that he's hard of hearing. But you can start walking around some of the rooms, and he takes you to the first room. He's like, here, apparently it is here. And it just looks to be like a drawing room. There's a big desk, there's a big table, a fireplace, and again it seems to mark by the fireplace. Well, shall we block it up?
Yes, we shall.
I suppose we could use the desk. It's not like he comes in here anyway. Let's get the desk. And he sort of like moves over, and he starts pulling this like fairly heavy desk over, and a second he sort of like straightens his back and then starts to pull.
Emmett will go on the other side and like discreetly push the desk so he can feel accomplished in moving it.
Yeah, he's like, oh, yes, I've still got it. As he sort of like shuffles backwards and pulls it, and you sort of tip it into this fireplace. And again, there's other bits that's just started being piled in there. He's like, right, I also say we lock the door, don't you?
That sounds fantastic. What kind of wax
does. Like he's
for your mustache?
Oh, like as like, he starts like playing with his mustache as he looks at your beard. Like, fantastic. Come on, out we go. And he sort of steps out of the room and waits for you to leave as well.
Met will follow, pick the next destination, and head off.
And he starts like locking up all the doors behind him. And you go from room to room, and you go into all these rooms, and once again there's always a piece of furniture or there's always something else, and he chats to you. He's now sort of listening to you a little bit more, and he's this beard, this, did you grow that? Can you grow that? Is it fake? And he just like, he's like, do you mind if I pull on it a little bit?
It is not fake. I think I grew it.
I mean, it's thriving.
Sure.
Like,
I grew it. Tart maintains it.
Oh, and the frog.
Oh, that's new.
Okay. Fascinating. And he turns and starts walking down the corridor again. And just ahead of him, you see him opening the next room, and he opens the door. Yeah. Oh, hello. What are you doing in here? And now we're going to hop back over to Tart,
who's sleeping peacefully and so safe and definitely not crying into her pillow quietly.
And you can hear Tyron sort of fidgeting on the sofa. He's asleep, but he's probably just having a dream or something. And you hear a slight laugh every now and then from what you don't know what he's dreaming about, but you just hear like a that sort of, and he's sort of scrunched himself up on the sofa into this tiny little ball covered in this this blanket. Are you still awake, or are you just
probably so. Damn it, Jay. I know. I think because she's probably actually been crying, so I don't think she's asleep yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she'll like kind of sit up when she hears him laughing. Like she needs a very quiet space to sleep. Why she was so cranky after being on the ship. And kind of look around, check that everything's okay. She doesn't know how much time has passed, but she hasn't heard any screaming.
It is
That's
now
good.
dark outside. It is now completely dark outside. You can see stars and the moon is out. And everything seems fine. Tyron seems to have settled down again. He's super cozy right now. He doesn't.
Goodness.
It's like
I'm gonna like go like put another blanket over him.
as you do that, he seems to settle a bit
Okay.
more. You guess maybe he was cold or something like that. But it's quiet for a very long time. And if you look out the window, you can see the city has started to quieten down. No more ships are leaving or coming into port. You see the odd airship take off, but it looks to be more of a merchant ship than anything else. And it is silent. It is silent outside. And after a while, you hear a knock at the door.
Oh,
And
that's
Tyron just like sits bolt upright. I'll get it. It's fine.
yeah, just ask who it is first. Jeez.
Oh, okay.
She's like wiped the tears away.
He can't really. He seems bleary eyed. He sort of looks at you briefly. You all right?
Yeah, I'm great. Why? I'm super duper fine.
I just thought you'd be sleeping. And he just sort of turns and starts walking towards the door.
Don't get too close to the door, Tyron. I don't trust anything.
Oh, and he just takes a step back. Just that a really over the top step back. Like, who is it? And you hear, oh, it's me, sir. Is it? Oh, Captain. Okay, hang on.
Calm down, Alice. Calm down, Alice. I'm okay. Okay, just 1 second. I'm going to go. And I'm going to like flank the door.
Oh.
I'm gonna like flank the door, so he can't see me necessarily, but I can, stab him if he's possessed.
Yeah. Is it? Can I open the door now?
Yes, just a crack.
And he sort of opens it. He's like, yes. And it's here. Oh, well, we've blocked up all the entrances, just so you're aware. You asleep? Is it? Yes, I'm asleep. What else would I be doing in here in this? Like, gestures to his pajamas. And you hear Tyron say, what is that? What have you got there? And you hear
Jump in between. No. Okay, cool. I grab Tyron by the shoulder and throw him back.
Yeah, you throw him back, and stood at the door is the captain, and you see him start to smoke, start to burn, as he slowly changes into Demetrius.
No! Damn it!
As he holds up this small black cube, this almost purplish cube that is hovering in between his hands. And he says, go to sleep. And now, Vesh, we're going to hop over to you.
No, stop it, Alice!
And Vesh, you and Blue are sat there. Would you have like dozed off by now, or are you so involved in these stories?
I think it's kind of one of those things where Vesh, because he's been drinking a little bit, he's got a very full stomach, and he's had cookies. He's got this plate of cookies he's been eating the whole time, and so I think it's kind of one of those things where like he probably falls asleep, and then dozes for a little bit, then wakes back up and starts reading the same page again or something along those lines. So yeah, I don't think he's like deep asleep, because he's probably like got like a book on his knees and stuff. He hasn't like,
he's dozed.
he hasn't put like the book on the side and like got himself to sleep yet, but he is probably in that very drowsy where you're reading and dreaming sort of at the same time.
Yeah. And yeah, you can feel like you're sort of in and out of it. You can hear Blue moving around a bit. You hear him move to the window to look out, to stand by the door. And as you're dozing there, could you roll me a perception check, please?
Oh, okay. 12.
On a 12, you don't hear much, but you swear you hear stone move.
I think probably for whatever story he's been reading, it's kind of one of those things as you're sort of dozing. It's like one of those when you sort of dream in and out that it's probably becomes part of the dream of something, because I'm sure he's got some epic tale that's going on. And it's like, and then they went into the tower and opened up the big door, type idea.
And you hear Blue move, and you hear that stone against stone sliding across, and you hear a third pair of footsteps step in, and you hear Blue, your eyes still closed, you go, "No, you are not allowed in here."
Do I need to roll another perception to see if that shakes me out, or can I?
How would you react if you heard that?
It's saying that, especially Blue saying no. If it was Blue saying hello, then he would be probably he'd probably be like, ugh. But since you're not supposed to be in here, I think he would sit up and look to see who's come in.
As you sit upright on the bed, you see this. You can only assume, you think you've seen this person, but then it looks like so many people before. Perhaps one of the servants from the kitchen, something like that, holding a glass of milk and a cookie on a tray. On this tray is a small black cube glowing, and he holds a gun in his hand, like a pistol. And looking at you, he fires. I'm just going to roll something right now, so bear with.
So here's the thing. Just asking, and I don't know whether if I'm, but I do have the shield spell, and I mean, I think that Vesh would. I mean, if I've got it, if I have the ability to have a reaction, seeing a gun, I think he would probably try to throw up a shield if I have time, if I can. If not, I totally get that too. He's half asleep. I do have a spell slot.
Throw it. Go for it. Because I'm going to roll a couple of numbers here, and then I'll tell you what I do.
So yeah, it's it adds +5 to my armor class, and take no damage from magic missiles.
Okay. Describe how the shield comes up.
I mean, I think it's Vesh very much. I think it's almost like that, like a shimmer of sound, almost like the thunderclap, but it's maybe so deep and so low that it doesn't actually make an audible sound like a thunderclap does, and that it's just sort of like this wave, like a pressure wave, like you sometimes see, the boom. However, I will say this, because it's Vesh, he would have taken, I mean, he was going to bed. He would have taken off his armor. So it's just going to be Vesh, which is oh, that's right. So it would be 10 minus 2, which is 8, plus 5, which is only 13, even with the shield.
Okay. We're just going to hop back over to Emet a second. So, Met, this captain has walked into the room. And as he walks into the room, you hear him. What are you doing here? And it's like there's a flash of black purple light. And you hear a thud on the ground.
Emet rushes into the room.
Stood there is a servant with a tray, with a black cube radiating purple. And it smiles at you, and there's that flash again. River, the person stood at the other end of the garden, starts to walk towards you. You see their hands glow purple and black and swirl. The dog starts to go manic, barking, snarling, and almost a grumble you've never heard before from an animal. And then there's a flash. And Vesh, you hear that gunshot go off. It's like your shield, as you're trying to spark it, it doesn't come up fully. But on a 19, you just hear a no. And Blue throws himself in front, and there is a purple flash. And that is where we will end this.
That's even worse.
That is where we will end this week's Eberron.
I think everyone could read Lauren's lips, even though she was muted.
No, I didn't say anything.
So, we are going to go round, and I'm going to get that. The worst thing is Lauren is my DM next. And we've just got voice fighters, so I'm in trouble. So, I'm dead. But we're going to go round, and we will say where we can find each other, our favorite bit, and yeah. So let's go back again and start with Ash. Hello, Ash.
Hello, I am Ash. I can be found on Twitter by the handle Phoenix of 89. And honestly, if I'm anywhere, that is the handle I use. I've yet to find someone else who has it, so I've gotten very lucky on that. And let's see, right now, of course, I'm here weekly, and I have a podcast that comes out where we play Shadows of Estrin, which is a fun, dark, Celtic-esque fantasy. All the great creepiness. And my favorite part, oh my gosh, probably the moment that Alice said, the captain opened the door and said, "Who are you?" I was like, here it is. Here it is. It's been quiet too long. I knew it. Here it is. Okay, let's do this. Such a simple little sentence.
Yeah. Awesome, thank you. And now we're going to hop over to Kim. Hello, Kim.
Hello. Make sure I wasn't muted this time. You can find me on Fridays over at the RPG Labs, where I play Yanti Bard Rogue, and You can find all my like social media information over at my website at geekyteaparty.com. So I fixed it. And that's all I'm doing right now. Trying to get ready for this baby.
Yeah.
Try not to take on too much. But yeah, my favorite part, I don't know, I liked playing with the dog. And I don't know, I'm kind of like, oh, what's gonna happen with this guy, you know? So that's exciting to me. And then the scavenger hunt, like I don't, you know, playing games. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun.
Awesome, thank you. And now we're gonna hop over to the lovely Tall Squall. Hello.
Hey, how are you doing? I am Tall Squall. You can find me all over the internet as Tall Squall. If you go to my Twitter, you can find the pinned tweet there to find out all the things I'm in, including a campaign that I'm a DM for on Saturdays at 2 o'clock Eastern that we run 100% for charity. And if you can come by, that would be great. And come in, listen to our story that we've been weaving. We're on 2 years now, and we've got some big stuff coming up sort of to end this big long arc of our story that we've been in for about the last 8 months. So stop on by. Things are going to get really interesting. And for those of you who want to join in, we after this arc concludes, we're going to try to make it a little bit an easier step off point, since we're at like episode 90, a 4-hour long episode. So it's kind of tough for people to jump in. So we're going to try to sort of moving forward, make it a little bit easier that if you want to join in on the Vice, that you'll be able to once we get through this next arc and into the next level ups and things like that. So anyway, that's what you can find what I'm doing. My favorite part, I love the fact that we turned Alice's dungeon crawl into a dinner party.
I'm so happy you did.
Because what else would we do? And yeah, no, I had a blast. I had an absolute blast at the dinner party.
Awesome. And last but certainly not least, Lauren.
Hello, Alice. Never
this every
used
week.
this tone with you before.
Once before.
True. Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm that salty ginger over on Twitter. She, her pronouns.
Salty, you say?
So salty.
No, never been salty a day in my life. I'm the chillest person you will ever meet. I play games around the internet with my friends. I am on 2 shows here, this one and the Star Trek one on Fridays with Alice. I play in 2 games over on Off the Table as well. We have a new Urban Shadows campaign starting tomorrow at 7 Eastern, which is really exciting. And I'm part of the team behind Tales from the Grim, where we have I can't say that anymore. Where we just concluded our long-running Pulp Cthulhu campaign, Project Athena. We also have May Black Roses Bloom, our Dragonlance and Ravenloft 5e campaign, as well as Dungeon of the Mad Mage. And right after this, like in 23 minutes, we have episode 2 of Wild Blue Yonder, Lady Blackbird campaign, which is really exciting. Alice plays in that. I'm the GM.
Please leave my little goblin boy alone.
No, and I just hope that I will be as good of a GM as Alice is, because she is excellent.
Just for Tales from the Grim, the other fun one coming up is Highlander, which I'll be in.
Yes, I think we're doing that, second week of February?
Second week of February, yep.
Yeah.
Yep, Alice is in it, I'm in it.
Our, like a special mini season of that. We're going to try to do a couple of those, but that has a baller cast that is super duper exciting. So check us out over there, twitch.tv/Tales from the Grim.
Awesome. Thank you. Other than that, hang on, let me just double check something. I've pressed the wrong thing. So yes, Discord. Everyone head over to our Discord and check it out. It's full of lots of lovely people, so head over there and chat. There is a designated chat room just for this campaign, so head over there. Also YouTube, this will be up on YouTube in a day or so, and if you haven't seen the ones leading up to it, those are also currently on YouTube as well. Twitter, if you want to get into one of these games, drop Scrat a DM on Twitter. We have 5 viewer games this season, which I'm super excited about, including D&D 5e, Cypher System, and Ryutama. So if you want to try something different from D&D, definitely head over there. Also Patreon, if you would like to support us, one way of doing that is via Patreon. We also have some lovely free articles from Renee on there, and also merch. You can get our merch via Redbubble. Super cozy, super snuggly. I live in mine most of the time, so go and check this out. Also fabulous sponsors, as we said, one of them here today in the form of a Bird in the Storm. Check out their merch down below. And also Magehand Press, who created the Dark Matter reskin of D&D 5e. Other than that, I'm White Rabbit Pick. That's where you can find me on Twitter. I do all sorts of photography stuff, as well as DMing on here and being a player on here. I'm about to go over to the Tales from the Grim to be tortured by Lauren for a bit, so please head over there and come and see our Lady Blackbird campaign, which I'm already kind of in love with. And then, as we said, starting the first week of February, you'll see Toolscore and I in the Highlander Cypher System campaign, which is coming. So we're actually, I mean, we're not live yet because Lauren and I are here, but we are going to go and raid Tales from the Grim. So stick around because it's going to be so much fun with, I think we've dubbed them the 2 sweet boys that aren't very good and the rest of them that are proper pirates. But we, yeah, we're going to head over there. So stick around for that. Keep evoking emotions, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.